It's time for Leathered Podcast.
It's Leathered Podcast, and we are down in Wigan. And we are joined by our very first guest. We've never had a guest on the Leathered Podcast, and it's the great and powerful Tom.
I'm the first. Thank you very much. I'm honoured. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. I know it's a long way for you.
We decided to start up a MMA podcast. We don't talk a lot about MMA, but we wanted our very first guest to be MMA.
Well, I'm fucking sick of talking about it, so let's talk about something else, please.
Good, man. I like it. So what's been happening? How's camp? Let's get the.
Let's talk about it when you just said they
we're 4 weeks.
We'll have to do the formalities.
4 weeks
Got
out.
to do the formalities.
You're in great condition.
Thank you.
Knees are all sorted. We're ready to go.
I've got two now. It's excellent. Yeah.
So we're going to see more lateral movement.
The more lateral. Yeah.
What else? What's new in the? What you got? In this?
I've got all kinds. I've got kicks. Punches. No, mate, it's been really good. I
was speaking to the old man, speaking to the dad, and he was telling me you've got a wicked hook.
I do. Yeah, I've got a sweet left hook now. Yeah, I'm working on all kinds of different stuff. But the main thing is, I've got loads of heavyweight bodies, which I've never had before. I have had them, but not consistently. And now it's some mat. We're putting like between 5 and 15 heavyweight bodies every day, which is pretty unheard of in the heavyweight scene. So I'm feeling great, mate. I'm feeling great. I've got 4 weeks left. I think I'm way ahead of schedule, so I think I'm just going to do 1 or 2 more spars and keep it going.
Can we speak about the gym?
Of course.
Some units in that gym, man.
Yeah, some big boys in.
Obviously you had Phil there, Mickey, but a few of the other guys. Ben, is it one called Ben?
Big Ben, 160 kilo.
And, who's the guy who looks like Aquaman? I don't think he was in the day, man.
Yeah, he wasn't. Big Mindy, yeah, he's 6'9". Yeah, I sparred with him. I've been training with him for a long time. Big Lithuanian man, Big Mindy, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite.
Is this your new gym? Is this your gym?
So it's been a bit of a conundrum, to be honest. Yeah. Obviously, I was at Team Carbon for a long time.
Yep.
Which is a great gym.
In Liverpool.
Yeah, great gym. The problem is it's a great gym full of small guys these days. And I was You
were travelling as well.
I was travelling a lot, and I started doing a bit of boxing sparring with the heavyweights and stuff at Peter Fury's gym. Tyson Fury's uncle, sparring Tyson and Huey and a load of other big guys. And you know what? I was getting punched and it was fucking hurting me. I was like, I need to do more with heavyweights. There wasn't many big guys at all going to Carbon. Till was there, and then he stopped going and stuff. And then Till was a middleweight or a welterweight, and then I was just stuck for guys. So my dad just said, "Oh, we'll just start a little thing up. We'll just start, running a session with a few guys in." And mate, before I knew it, we had like 15 guys on the mat, and it's just kind of gone from there, mate. We just got massive guys in every day, and it's fantastic. Yeah. It's amazing.
How was sparring with Tyson Fury then?
It's like fucking shadowboxing. Can't hit him.
Well, you're a big guy who's obviously nimble as well, so...
Yeah. He's just a freak, mate, to be honest. He's massive. He's absolutely massive. Like, he looks big on TV, but when you actually spar him, he's just enormous. Yeah. And usually the bigger guys, I do better with them generally, because they're slow, and I'm not slow. Anyway. But he's just so fast. Yeah. He's just really fast, and he judges the distance so well. He's just great.
When you were younger, you were wanting to be a pro boxer. Was that true? Or did you...
Maybe a little bit.
Is it because you couldn't get fights?
It's because I couldn't get fights in MMA, really, yeah. It was just kind of something that I was doing because I couldn't get fights in MMA.
What about now? You see a lot of people crossing over stuff now, and still just MMA.
Yeah, stick with the MMA, I reckon. I don't know. I love boxing and that, but I think boxing's absolutely shite the way it's set up. The sport of boxing is amazing, and I think I'm like so pissed off with boxing because of the model of boxing these days. I don't know if you've been to any boxing shows, but they're fucking terrible.
It's not entertaining.
It's awful. It's like one good guy against a shitter. It's like...
And you can always kind of pick out who's got to win a boxing match, can't you?
That's what I mean. Really, mate, it's not a sport for me, though. You look through the card, and you're looking through and you go, yeah, he's going to win. It's like 10-0 against fucking 2-15.
Yeah. A side and a B side.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's just a ticket seller and a shitter, and it's like I don't want to see that at all. I don't want to see it. I'm not interested in it. Like boxing, when there's two good guys fighting each other, I watch it all day, mate. But I'm not watching that. It's terrible.
100%. What do you think about these super fights? With YouTubers fighting YouTubers, B-list celebrities fighting B-list celebrities, and then you've got retired boxers coming out of retirement to just make some money. Like I totally get it. It's about making money, but it's killing the sport, isn't it?
It is. It is and it isn't, because I still tune in, so I can't really say like it's shit because I'm quite interested. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Who would you like? Who would you like? You get a boxing match, you know, you've came to the end of your contract with.
If
the
I was to
UFC.
box somebody,
Super fight it. Let's go. Who are you going for?
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
I'd fight the shit out of Brock
Yeah,
Lesnar.
love
I'd love
it.
that fight. I'd absolutely love it. I always wanted
love
that, because I used to love WWE and that when I was younger. And he was
here we
like,
go.
he was the, when I was watching it, he was the main
He's the
guy. Yeah,
and then crosses over to the UFC and then
Yeah, but
becomes
he's
the main guy there as well.
He's well juicy now though, and he's not never
That
getting.
neck.
Yeah, he's got a juicy everything, the guy. But yeah, Brock Lesnar, I'd box him definitely.
Like, cool. Let's actually get in a wee bit amongst you. Like, what you do? Like, fighting can be very boring, and living it every single day and having your dad as your coach. Like, what do you do to get just relax?
Do you know what? This is something I've figured out recently. To be a top level, not even athlete, to be top level in anything, you have to be a proper boring bastard. You do though, you do. Like before, I was trying to before this knee surgery's changed a lot for me. You have to I used to try and have a life and do MMA, and I realised that's not really going to work out that much. Mate, when I'm in camp now, I literally train, usually do media, sleep, train again, and sleep again. That's all I do at the moment. I don't do anything else. I'm a proper boring bastard, you know. I've got little kids as well, so that takes up a lot of my time. But as far as hobbies and stuff, I don't really have any. I honestly don't really do anything. I'm really boring.
That's how you get to the top.
I
of
just
the
sleep.
tree, innit?
What about
train.
movies? You a movie guy?
No.
Oh, fuck's
no,
sake,
I'm
Tom.
a sleeper, you see. Anything that takes longer than an hour and a half,
You're gone.
I'm gone. Goners, absolutely goners. I don't mind a murder documentary. That seems to excite me, funny enough.
Got deep psychopath
Yeah,
inside
I
you.
like a murder, not when I'm involved in it.
That's why. That's why you're
Maybe
in
see a
shit,
murder in a
it's
couple of
like-
weeks.
It's grabbing phone.
I don't know, I like,
taking him to the point of death, and it's like, I'll let go.
Yeah,
I'll let go.
yeah.
I'm not quite ready.
Just gotta
I'm
know
not
that
quite
you
ready
could.
to dip the toe.
Yeah. It's not for me. I always think though, could I kill somebody? Do you ever think that?
Do you get this crazy thought where you're in a room and you're like, I
think
could fucking.
I could
murder everybody in
100% kill somebody. Easy.
I always think, if I killed somebody, would I
Would you
feel
get away
bad?
with it?
Yeah, I don't
Would you get away
know.
with it? I
I
think you
reckon
get away
if,
with it.
if someone
Oh, it
tried to break
depends.
into my house, right, and I killed them, I wouldn't feel bad.
No.
I could do that easily.
Yeah.
I'd do that no problem. I actually know someone, right, and he caught someone trying to steal his burgle his garage, and he tied him up in the garage, right?
Love it.
He went for 5 days. He went in every day and beat him up with his mate. This was in lockdown. But then he was buying him a Mackies and that, just keeping him alive. Honestly, that's a true story. I
We better
promise you.
Stockholm syndrome. The guy's like, I don't want to.
I'm going to let you out, but don't grass me.
Honestly,
Give him some Diet Coke, keep him hydrated.
then after 5 days, you just let him go. He was just yeah, fuck
long
off.
as
And that was the end of the matter.
That was it. That was it.
As long as he didn't butt him over.
Just like some smacker,
See if you're the
just
guy
let him
getting
go.
you're not going to be like, I was in there for 5 days and every day he wasn't battling me, he was coming in and just beating me off. Recently, I don't know how to start this, but recently I was in an accident and I had nowhere to go. Nobody was willing to support me. Nobody was willing to get me back on the road. Do you know how much of my claim I got?
Well, was it your
Nothing.
fault?
It was not my fault and I get nothing. Chris, what can I do?
Well, I'll tell you what you can do. You can get in contact with G4 Claims. Because why?
Something about non-fault claims.
They give you 100% of your claim back.
Well, I get fuck all.
Well, there you go. You went to the wrong guy. So, G4 Claims, but how would you get in contact with them, Ross?
You should have called them, Chris.
And have you got a phone number there?
You should have called them on 01698 767 172 or website www.notatfault.com.
G4 claims.
The link is in the description. So that's what I say. See when in our neighbourhood somebody breaks into houses, I'm just like, I pray they try to do it to my house. Just lock the door like a Bronx tale. Now you can't leave. You know what I mean?
That's quality.
Just torture them, man. I'd love it, man.
See, I would have to try and pull guard on him. It would have been much worse if he'd better jiu-jitsu than me and he passed guard, started trying my elbows and I'm like,
On the kitchen floor.
tell the wife, phone the police.
Putting the gear on it. House robe.
And then we've got, so you've got kids,
Yeah.
nursery, and you've got school.
I got so I got 3 kids. I got my oldest one is nearly 7. My youngest one's I got twins that are 4.
Oh, nice.
One of my twins has autism as well, so that's like That's like having about 10 kids, having that. It's fucking... But yeah, we're just working through it, being a parent of young kids.
What's the school gate like? Because when I
School
go to
gate?
school gate, I get dads to give me advice. Obviously, I'm not the greatest at striking, but I've got one or two dads that are like, what you're doing wrong there?
Yeah, there's some...
Did he give you the chat at the school gate?
Occasionally, I think they're pretty used to me. But one time, there was a dad with a UFC shirt on, and I walked past him. I was like,
Here we go. The nod.
"All right, mate,
The nod.
how's it going?" And he just didn't even take
Didn't
me on.
even
You know?
recognise you?
He didn't recognise me. It's like,
To be
shit.
fair, nobody can really, like, you've won all your fights basically, so nobody can really give you pointers apart from the injury, the freak injury, you know what I mean?
No, they can't. People always want to give pointers.
Nah,
Though,
true.
you know
No,
what
I
it's
get- I
like.
get
You know what it's
pointers every
like.
day, man.
Yeah, people.
What's a funny one for me though? My son's a little bit older. He's 12, and him and his buddies love playing the UFC game. So, you know who they go? They turn around and they go, "You seen this guy, Paul Craig, in the UFC game?" I'm like, "I'm at the gym, look," and I'm having to like break out the phone in the house, like, "Look, I'm at the gym with him every day." Like, I know him. This. Oh,
Your
it's
dad
brutal.
knows him.
Aye, so that'll be a good one for you once you get a bit
Yeah,
bigger.
my
Once
kids are
they
still
get a
not
bit
even
bigger.
that asked. I mean,
Nah,
my oldest
don't
kid's
care.
getting onto it. I think like more his mates in school are into it, and then
That's if it, like my son, he thinks it's perfectly normal to know UFC fighters.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's not a big deal to him because he's been coming to the gym and hanging about with guys, and like if he comes to a gym and sees media and podcasts, and
Yeah, he's used to it.
just like, oh, it's just what the guys do. Like it's totally normal. Whereas I do get like some dads, they come up and they go, "Do you do this and do you do that?" And it's quite cool at the time, but then you're like, it's funny how the kids are so just like,
yeah,
well,
they're
that's
used to
normal,
it.
of course.
Yeah, it's
your
the
kids
same
will be the
Yeah,
same.
the same for me. Like cameras turn up with me, and they're used to it.
Aye, all right.
Well, my
but-
kid actually said to me, my oldest kid, obviously people were asking me on the street a lot, like, "How's your knee?" You know, like that. People still ask me, like, "Oh, how's the knee getting? When you fighting again?" and shit like that. I said, "Yeah, it's better now." And my oldest kid said to me one day, "Dad, why do you keep complaining about your knee all the time, talking about it to everyone?" I'm like, fucking people are asking me. I'm not going about just telling people about it.
How do you feel about the kids watching you fight him? Because this is one we talk about quite a bit. Like,
My kids are still pretty young.
You're a superhero to them.
of course.
No,
mate.
I think
yeah.
they're just
Nah,
dead used
you
to it.
will be.
I think they're just dead used to it. I don't think they're too bothered.
Wait till it's like you've had it.
You're in a
My daughter-
computer game.
I know,
My
mate.
daughter-
You're
I think when they get to like 12.
My
or-
daughter's 16.
Yeah.
She's got a
Aye.
wee boyfriend.
Oh, what's he like?
I talk about this every single week in the podcast. We're taking this van right up to the. He's a nice wee guy, but I know what 16-year-old boys are into.
Yeah, it's tough, and it must be
I know.
tough.
Aye.
It must be tough.
I want to start throwing shit. And then she started ditching me. Like I used to take her to the Marvel movies, and we'd go and watch them.
You don't want to do it anymore.
It's just my hang with her dad. They're like, who does? And
No,
I'm
that
like,
must be tough. See, I'm nowhere near that stage yet, but
yeah.
I reckon that'll break my heart when my kid
aye,
doesn't.
it comes, mate. It comes.
It is cool when the kids, the way they see you, but it's like you say, they're a bit smaller now. But once they get bigger and you're going into the school and stuff, like, I seen your dad on YouTube.
Yeah, but what
it's
about
mad,
like if you
mate.
like we're MMA fighters, especially at heavyweight.
Aye, there's always
you
the
got to
doubt.
accept the fact that I'm gonna get knocked out one time, at least. So what happens after that when your kid has to go to school and fucking the old man's just been knocked
I've
out?
said that was one of my.
Yeah, that must be difficult.
Because kids can be wee douchebags, especially
Yeah,
wee boys.
definitely.
Like, your dad get knocked out. Aye, well, my dad will fucking pin you down and shag your ass. And then fucking stop your nonsense.
And then
And then
they
Paul's like,
take you in the door, man.
I know,
They'll just shout at her or something.
but it's not actually been like that. It's actually been pretty good. They're like, they're behind us, which is a good thing.
Yeah, hopefully, like the sport will become more. People understand it more because, like, this sport everyone loses. Like,
But I think
for
we're definitely
sure.
getting more mainstream with the sport.
Definitely.
Like we've had you being a bit of a superstar. You were on TV with
trying, mate.
McIntyre.
I'm trying.
You were on Question of Sport as well. That's pretty cool, man. Like,
You're on Question of Sport?
I was on quite- it's not been aired
nice.
yet. It's not been aired, but
Nice.
it was a good one, mate. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not into anything. Like I don't know fuck all about sports, so I just tried to bring the bants. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I was just bringing
The humour.
Just
the
try.
last thing you might be is in the hangs and be like a guy just standing there. Like,
Asking you
am I reading through the
questions about
jokes?
tennis and
Oh
stuff
well,
like that.
my agent, he was like, "Don't worry, they're going to ask you all UFC questions, nothing else." Mate, they asked me 2 UFC questions. One of them I got it wrong. I was like, "Fuck, shit, look like a right knob." But yeah, it was good. It was great. Like any time you can get mainstream and that, just get the
know, it's
MMA
great for the
name out
sport,
there. It's
innit?
great. It's great. Like I'll do that every chance I get.
So obviously this will be your third time headlining London.
Yep.
How does that feel walking out? Obviously the first time we were there, the Volkov fight.
It was the fans after it.
It's like that's the first time I really seen like your support, like the songs they were singing in their thousands. Does that add pressure to you? Does it grow confidence? Do Do you need that to walk out? To perform?
I don't need it. Because I've had like 4 fights in the pandemic with fucking no one there, and shitloads of fights before that no one cared about, so I don't really need that. But it's great.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I thrive off it. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I didn't know, like, before I fought Volkov, I didn't know how I'd feel because I'd never done it before. But
You made that look pretty easy as well.
That's right, 'cause it was the first time you fought in front of your crowd.
Yeah.
Volkov's that's some walk.
Volkov's a fucking tough guy.
Yeah.
And I was prepared to have a really, really tough battle with him, to be honest.
You've never actually went the full distance ever? have
No,
you?
no.
Pro career?
I'll fucking keep it that way as well if
Yeah,
I can. I don't
exactly.
fancy it. I don't fancy having a scrap for 25 minutes, really. With a really big guy. I
Same in a
don't
few
fancy
weeks.
it.
25 minutes, I like that. Talking about just, getting ready for title contention, your name's obviously
Well,
getting
main event
bandied
though,
about.
innit? It's my third one now, so that's my last 3 have been for 25 minutes. So
Let's talk about some gold.
some gold. Right, go on then.
You get your eyes set in that? Is that
I want to
something
fight
that
Jon
interests
Jones.
you?
Are you fed up getting asked about him yet?
I really want. Yeah, I really want. No, in a way, like, I don't feel like I deserve to talk about him in a way.
Why?
Because I don't. He's fucking legend, isn't he? Of course. But at the same time,
But he
if
is
you're
in your
not-
division.
Well, if you're not like shooting for that, then what are you doing?
Do you,
know what I mean?
Do you
So-
think that he is a GOAT?
Guys, we have now got our first sponsor. Don't know why it took me so long to say sponsor, but it is. Ross, you going to say its name?
Anaconda Fight, where I've joined the team.
They've joined the team, and what is their speciality?
So, knee braces, I'm told.
So they are.
By Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz is rocking these knee braces.
Says it's basically what's kept him doing it.
So the guy that actually started the brand, he's Scottish, and he actually suffered a ACL injury and was out for 6 months. So these knee braces are actually designed to not to stop this, because if you've got somebody swinging off your legs in jiu-jitsu, then it's not going to happen. But these are going to definitely aid the structural support. And as you said, we've got Joey Diaz.
Stay on. They didn't slip off. This is the big thing. Sweaty in the gym.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Rogan rocking this stuff as well.
Joe Rogan, you've got ADCC athletes that compete with them on as well. They also do more than knee braces, they do some rash guards as well that I've actually worn.
And the rash guards are a bit more of a minimal thing, eh?
Yep.
They didn't have the mad patterns. They didn't have characters on them. They didn't have Pokemon on them. They didn't have
Some
anime
of
characters on
the things
them.
are dug meat, aren't they? Like, you look at them and
Too
it's
far.
like,
Some
aye.
are too far.
Anky's doing a deal as well. What is that deal, Ross?
The deal is 2 for $59 on his website.
Perfect.
And the website is anacondafightwear.co.
.co.
Just .co.
Remember
Why is
that.
it dollar? Why is it holla holla Rudy Volla?
$10. Don't know why.
American-based brand, maybe. They're made there. That's how big Joey Coco Diaz is strapping his shit up.
He doesn't use it for his knees, just in his cack.
But if it's working for
But
these
so-
guys, it's working for us.
Well, I've obviously trained me Luke for a long time. He's a good friend. My friend Kieran Byrne as well, who's friends with us. So, aye, his business has gone good and it's perfect for us. It's an MMA podcast at times. So we do jiu-jitsu and we love the brand, so it's a perfect combination.
And we will be rocking it in our Leathered Boys breakdown.
We will do. I'll even try the...
So guys, if you are looking for a new rash guard or a knee brace, then check out Anaconda Fightwear. As we said, if you hit the link, hit the bio, there will be links in there to get it, and there's a current deal going on at the moment, so check them out. Anaconda Fightwear.
Anaconda, baby. If it wasn't
No,
for
I think
like...
GSP is, but if I'm fighting him, I'm definitely going to say he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Because it'll make me look fucking awesome.
How did that feel like when Jones came back into the heavyweight division right away? Were you like, this is in sight now, I could maybe face him down the line? Was that the first
Well,
thing coming
first
into
of all, I was interested to see how he got on, because we didn't know
Yeah.
what he's going to look like. I think there was something wrong with Cyril Gane, to be honest. He just didn't look himself. I don't know if he was like nervous or maybe he was injured or whatever, but it's still like a big question for me. How's he going to look at heavyweight? I
Yeah.
don't really know.
I said this a few times, I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass, but I honestly think that you would give Jones the more problems out of everybody in the heavyweight
I
division.
think so.
I think obviously the grappling aspect of Gane, he looked in a different league completely, where I think that you would shine there in the scrambles and the
I think so.
jiu-jitsu transitions.
I would agree with that.
And I'm not just saying that, I've said it in the past, haven't I?
It's it. So before that fight, there had been a lot of rumour about you against Gane.
Yeah.
And how come that never came about? Or is that something you can chat about, or can he chat about?
To shake yourself.
It just,
Look at his
Shy
smile, he's
yourself.
like-
it seemed as if you were both.
There's been a lot of that recently as well, but apparently someone's...
So what's going on? Tell us what's going on.
Someone's skirting about the edges a little bit, it seems, and it's
Who?
not me.
It's him.
It's not me, that's all I'm saying, but that's definitely a fight that I'm interested in.
So you'd be happy to fight
I'd
Cyril, of
fucking love
course.
to fight him.
Yeah.
I'd love to fight him.
I remember we were talking about it in the
That's what
gym, and I was like,
I really want that fight.
Yeah.
I've been pushing for that fight for quite a while now.
but there's a wee bit of like a dark horse in the heavyweights now.
Who's that?
Sergey.
Yeah, he's a dangerous man, isn't he? I was supposed to fight him twice before I knew all about him.
Really?
Yeah, I knew all about him. And actually, one of the times he pulled out the week of the fight as well, he had visa issues. So this was like in the pandemic. This
In the UFC, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
But he
right,
had
right,
he was coming off like a 2-year layoff, so it was probably the worst time ever to fight him because no one knew who he was at the time. And I was watching his videos, being like, "This guy's a fucking truck. I don't want to get punched by him at all."
What do you think about him though? Because I know he's got a great record, but we didn't see much of him because the fights are over.
Yeah, it's hard to tell
because there's so little footage on him. There's so little, like, what's that now? 6 wins, 6 first round stoppages. It doesn't give you a lot to, if you're trying to study a fighter like him, it doesn't give you a lot to go. There's not much to see of him. How do you find
You
out
know how
about him?
dangerous
do
it
you-
is because he's putting everybody
Well,
down.
I've studied him a lot because I was going to fight him twice. So he has had a 5-rounder, if I remember that rightly. And
Really?
I watched
I
all
didn't
that.
know that.
And he does slow down after a bit. He will do throwing shots like that. Do you know what I mean? He's
yeah.
throwing absolute bombs, and he's a massive guy, so he did slow down after a bit. But it's difficult to say, isn't it? He's a bit of a mystery at this point. I'd
That's
like
how he
to see more
seems.
of him.
I'd like to see a bit. He seems like a big, cheerful, nice guy.
He's a very nice
as well.
man. I've
That's
met him
why-
a few times. Very nice.
What about your current opponent, Marcin? What's your thoughts on that?
In terms of what, just his skill set.
Yeah.
I think he's underrated. To be honest, he's got loads of UFC fights. He's been in the top 10 for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
He's fucking. I think his biggest strength, right, is that everyone underestimates him. I think that's the biggest thing he's got on his side. He's fought loads of these prospects and up and comers, and people just think they're going to blast him out in 2 minutes, and they nearly do, and he just takes over the rest of the fight. So I'm definitely not taking him lightly at all. Like, I'm treating this like I'm fighting Jon Jones. Honestly, I'm training hard as fuck. I'm
I don't think
serious.
his ranking reflects his ability at all.
No, and he's not very popular as well, which it might seem a bit superficial, that, but like, everyone overlooks him a little bit because he's not that popular. But just because he's not popular doesn't mean he's shit. The thing is, right,
He's definitely not shit.
without like chatting shit about him, he's not got a sexy physique. He doesn't do anything. It's not. Let's be honest. He's got a bit of a muffin top going. He doesn't do anything like ridiculously fast or dangerous. But he's won, mate, 7 of his last 8 in the top 10. Like, that's a lot. That's a serious record. That. But just because he doesn't talk shit and he's not super sexy and bombing people out, like, people just look past him.
Somebody said he was going for the Phil DeFries look.
I think Phil looks a bit better than him. I definitely think Phil looks a bit better than him. But I don't know, Phil's a bit puffy these days. You know what though? Phil's physique changes quick.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't.
He's got some size arse, Phil, when his
He's
legs and arse.
he's fucking massive.
Some size of arse.
He's a big man. He's definitely a big man.
Let's get some fun here, right? You're obviously getting loads of messages through loads of folk. What's the craziest thing you've been sending your DMs? Because I imagine you get many offers or many different opportunities.
Do you go through them?
Do you see them?
Occasionally,
Yeah.
occasionally I'll click
a
on the
laugh.
message request and instantly regret it most of the time. Most of the time. Off the top of my mind, I've definitely been sent some nudes at random. So that's always a bit wild. But I
From
think
men.
I've had a couple of men as well. I have.
Mine is, I get more
Yep.
men. I get more
I've
men.
had a few off men. I don't judge though. I don't. But either. It's just as surprising either way.
Chris is very popular with the gay
Oh,
community
really?
of Instagram.
Either want to draw my dick and that.
He gets a lot of good
You wanna draw it?
offers.
Yeah,
Draw
man.
him. Sketch
We'll
him.
show you the pictures.
I'll have to get a fucking small pencil for that. But yeah, there's that. That always takes me by surprise when that pops up. But often I've had people like sending me advice on what to do with the fights.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
People messaging me being like, "You faked the injury," and I'm like,
You faked injury.
"Mate, I had a fucking massive surgery for 3 hours and I couldn't walk for fucking 8 weeks after it. I definitely didn't fake, shit like that." People just like sending you really weird stuff that, like, any normal. I don't know. I feel like as a fighter yourself, you would never. Well, I know I would never like have the balls to criticise another fighter publicly and be like, you're shit at this, you need to improve this. Like, that's someone who's obviously never trained before. So I think that surprises me more than anything, is like someone that's never trained feels the need to message someone else directly and be like, this is what you need to improve. It's like,
That's the
mate,
worst.
come on.
Do you get pictures drawn? I get loads of pictures drawn. Some
Yeah,
really
I do.
good,
Some,
some really shit.
Some of them are really shit as well.
Right.
I appreciate you trying, but that's. I hope I don't really look like that. I hope.
Mate, you know what they go for? It's always my nose. They always fucking make us pick like that.
That's the easiest thing to draw, though.
Like a puffin, and then change it up here, man. I get
a wee angle on it.
So it's dudes for me. You get both sexies. You get shitty drawings as well. But social media is a horrible thing. Like if you think about going back like years and years ago, before social media was a thing, you could build a brand through TV, all this kind of stuff, and then now we're having to use social media like a weapon to actually build ourselves and make us more approachable. And I think that's why people message you, because it's like, oh, well, he's on social media, so I must have to message him.
Have access to him.
I'll just message them. Listen,
Yeah. Do you get this as well? I get this all the time. People just message me as like, literally not even a please on it. They're just like, send me some signed gloves. I'm just like, fucking no. I'm not sending you any signed gloves.
We've got a box of gloves just sitting there, and I just sign them and send them out. It's unbelievable.
Not even say please.
I know.
Even if you did say please, I'm not sending them anyway.
When I originally started with the UFC, I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to message everybody back after my second fight. I was like, fuck this.
It's
You can't help everybody, but everybody's wanting something.
You get bombarded, and then you end up having to do like this, like, can we podcast you? Like, and you're like, no, I've actually got shit to do.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, not, but come up to us and the podcasters, will be 200 people listening to this podcast, and it'll be good for you. Be like,
Be good for them.
aye, like,
Exactly,
get yourself to fuck. I'm not wasting my
Have
time.
you had any weird public experiences like face to face?
I get knocked out in a pub.
Oh, did you?
Can you beat that?
Well, I had a knife pulled on me. I beat that. Yeah.
Just purely for.
No,
You think you're like some kind of local tough guy?
I don't know.
Did you show mercy?
I hope not.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, like,
You sort of waited
doing
there.
the favour.
Like,
No,
No, do you know what? I don't fancy getting stabbed, really. I didn't want it. I was like, fucking, I'm out of here. See you later. See you later. I didn't run. I just walked off. I was like, no, we'll leave it
it's
there.
the
then.
Kevin
okay.
Bridges thing, like, give me 50 pence, else I'll stab you. He's like, I thought that was a good deal. I mean, like,
that could be somewhat of an inconvenience.
Guys,
Where was that?
Someone gave you the
Cars.
side swiper, did they?
Aye.
Oh, it's not.
It wasn't even a punch, it was a header.
Oh, was it?
I was standing talking to a
Scotland,
female at the bar,
but
and the next thing, dish,
Oh, no way.
doing a went actual flatline me.
so you were talking to a female at the bar. Maybe it was his female,
Yeah,
mate.
No, it 100% wasn't his female. He just absolutely douched me, and then I was in the pub like maybe a few months later, and he stood outside and he's like, he said something to ask if he was allowed to come in. I'm like, I don't really care.
Oh,
Like, I don't really care.
So how come? What happened with the knife? How did this come about?
You know what?
Were you out in town or were you
Yeah,
shopping
this
up?
was like kind of well, it's definitely not my fault that I got a knife pulled on me, but as not even as a fucking, I'm not even going to use the word famous, but as a more well-known person, just as a regular person, I should have known to fucking not go in a bar that's rough as fuck at like 4 a.m. But
Were you drunk?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is
And
it here, like in your local area?
yeah, and I was with like a group of people, and they wanted to go in, and I was just like, oh yeah, go on then, we're going for one. And yeah, this fella just come over. I was sat on a chair, like it had chairs in there. Some fella like come over and like leant over the back of my chair, So I just turned around and looked at him, and then he was just like, "What are you looking at, mate?" And I was like, "What? No, mate, you're just leaning over my chair." And then, so I stood up and I was like, put my hand out, shook his hand. I was like, "Mate, let's fucking leave it." And he was like, "I seen you fucking dirty looking from the second I come in." I was like, I wasn't. I absolutely wasn't. I'm fucking blind. I can't even see that far. I've not got my glasses on here, so I was just trying to look who it was. And then he's like, no. So I just put my hand out and I'm like, "Mate, come on, let's have a day off here." And then he pulled a knife out and went, "You'll have a day off tomorrow." You'll be having a day off when you see this. I was like,
You got to give the guy props. That's
Yeah,
a
I
good
know.
line.
I mean,
He's been standing in the mirror.
He's practiced that in the
He's
bar,
been a
man.
professional dickhead and done that before.
and
He's
I was
obviously
just
that
like,
guy.
All right, mate, fucking we'll leave it there then. See you later. And
The
just got up.
Those idiots,
Piece of
didn't
shit,
he?
man.
You could kick the shit out of him and he'd still
That's
do
all
that.
right, mate.
He'd
You
still
just-
do it next
you're
weekend.
just never going to win.
Nah.
You're never going to
So
win.
if you
He's
punch
still-
him, you just flatline him, and then you're
You
the
know.
bad one.
Exactly.
You're the bad one.
And he'd still do it next weekend.
And
Me and
like, I live in a small town and that, and like, everyone knows where I live.
Yeah.
And I don't want fucking anyone turning up at my door because I've whacked some dickhead.
Yeah.
Like you say, he was a little shit as well. He's just a little scruff.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it
Little
there.
scruff, I love that term, mate. WA.
was.
Me and Paula did that a couple of weeks ago, just minding our own business, leaving a shop. And I like mad junkie had a go at us.
After just tanning a half bottle.
Aye, in the shop.
Tanned it in the shop. Couldn't even wait to get out. Tanned the bottle and then was like, fuck you, she.
Oh, no.
Us?
Us?
So he
People are wild though, aren't they?
mate,
People are
he
absolutely
fancied it
wild.
with the two of us.
I always find it in cars, man.
It's a good fighting paper, that.
I was playing guard anyway. See, again, I've always got to one of the guys who's passing guard and fucking me up.
Once you
But
had him in guard, I'd have
people in
booted him in the
cars,
head.
That's what I get.
Oh, do you know what? There's nothing that I could. I wouldn't like to fucking have a street fight at all.
No,
I couldn't
mate.
think of anything worse, honestly. There's just no one ever wins.
No.
Like you either beat them up, get arrested, or
They hit
you
their
get
head
beat
on
up
the
yourself.
cobbles.
But yeah, what's don't
It's not
slow
good.
shit.
It ruins your hands as well.
What a hard man.
Few punches though, like the two gloves on your hands, just break now.
I just avoid it at all costs.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
fucking
fancy
terrible.
it.
But it's shit for you, because if you're wanting to go out or wanting to, you shouldn't be able to not have a normal life just because of who you are, eh?
Well, do you know my mate there, Big Ben, who was in the gym, 160 kilo? I like to go out with him
Aye.
Big Baratheon.
Big Ben keeps him at bay.
Yeah.
Big Ben's a big angry man.
Chris is like, he's like some kind of Game of Thrones in there.
No, Big Ben fucking keeps him at bay. He just
There's a
like
bit of jiu-jitsu as well.
He's like the
Ben's
security guard.
he's just hard. Ben's just like a hard guy, and he's 160 kilos, 6'6", and if he starts shouting, it's very scary. So people often just back up.
Shit themselves, yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously rubbing shoulders with celebrities. Who you been hanging with? I know you're friends.
Oh, in what? I don't know.
Obviously, I was talking about like you were on the show with Michael McIntyre, and you went to Chris Ramsey's house. I know he's a huge fan. We were
Yeah.
obviously at the UFC London, and we ended up partying with the guys.
Yeah, Chris Ramsey loves it, doesn't he? Loves it. Yeah, he's my mate now, Chris.
I know.
Yeah.
But I obviously was in his house in his bed,
Yeah, that was odd.
ready to kick his gun in. But
You were?
no, I wasn't.
I was.
You were in his
Yeah,
bed?
yeah, I was.
Okay.
Michael McIntyre had done this sketch where he literally pulls into his house,
Right.
whereas him and his wife are in bed, and he's got no boxers on it.
Yeah, he had
You're
no
like-
boxes on it. It was funny.
You're like, I'm not getting in there.
Yeah. No, basically they said
it's
so,
gone.
so it's like a show where it's called like I don't know what it's called, like midnight quiz or whatever on the Michael McIntyre show. Basically, the show's absolute shite.
Just a
but
wee
that-
sketch.
Yeah, but that bit's quite funny actually. And they just wake people up, like the missus, like the partners are in on it. They let them in,
Yeah.
and they just bust in the middle of the night, start bringing loads of guests on and like asking them questions.
And then
and
lying
shit.
in bed.
Yeah, they literally just woke up.
Big man said full regalia.
Yeah, and then
Fighting game.
like his missus text and they set me up about this as well. But his missus text, and she was like, just letting everyone know he's gone to bed naked. And I was like, I ain't fucking wrestling him if he's naked because he wanted me to wrestle him. But when that happened, right, I just had knee surgery and basically I was on the piss for like 6 weeks. I was just like down in the dumps and I was just getting pissed and going to barbecues like every night for the full summer. And they got me there. I'd not seen a gym for like 6 weeks. I was doing nothing apart from drinking and eating. And they turned up and they were like, yeah, you're going to have to take your shirt off. I was just like, no, don't make me take the shirt off. And then next minute, there's like 10 million people watching it. I was like, fucking, you got to give me two-week training camp I needed before. At least.
this out.
That's funny.
Yeah, they weighed us, yeah. Yeah, they weighed us, yeah. Yeah.
So did you have to run into the room then with like UFC
No,
gear on and stuff?
Literally, the place is in darkness, and then all of a sudden the lights.
Yeah, the lights come on. They had all kind of, you know, Chesney Hawes.
Aye.
He was there.
And you're in the guy's bedroom.
Yeah. Well, it was one of the most bizarre experiences I've ever had. So we were in Newcastle because that's where he lives, and we're in like a hotel, and they had like a boardroom and shit. And there was just me and Chesney Hawkes, and Chesney Hawkes' bit
So
was, you know
fucking
his song. What's his song now? He's like,
Oh, it's one hit wonder.
I'm the one and only. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the only song.
Yeah, so and I was just sat there. There was just me and him in this like boardroom in a hotel at like, because it's late at night. It's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I was fucking knackered, and I was just sat at this like posh boardroom, and Chesney Hawkes had just stood next to me singing "I Am the One and Only," and it's just me. There's just me and him. There's just me and him there. He's just like, I've got to get me warm up in. He's saying that. It was bizarre. He's a really nice fellow though, actually. Really nice.
Did you know who you were?
No, he didn't know anything about UFC, but he apparently he's coming to the London one.
Is he?
Apparently,
Got to
whether he
sing
does
it.
or not, he's not singing me out. It's before my time now. I'm only 30, so I think
That's
that
a
was
good
like
tune, though. That's a
yeah,
good
that was like
tune,
in the
man.
80s. I think that was before I was
30, aye.
30, just turned 30.
Big thanks to Greg Biggam for providing us this amazing motor for today's podcast.
talking about amazing vehicles, if your amazing car has been keyed by a Psycho X, dents, scuffs, anything like that, then Bigham's your man, and you'll be able to contact him on this number. Chrissy boy!
01698 538 899. That is 01698 538 899. Greg Biggam.
That's getting to the next part. What other celebrities are sliding in your DMs or messaging you? Because that was one of the coolest things that I thought, like, when you get a blue tick and you start to get a little bit of following and people start to know who you are, celebrities start to be like, oh, I know who you are.
Yeah, you know what? I got a lot of support after I hurt my knee. Loads of celebrities reached out and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
I can't really remember off the top of my head, you know.
Get some name drops here.
I know I'm trying to name drop.
I think your following is pretty positive though.
Yeah, I get a lot of good.
There isn't like a bad guy side of you. It's always like, oh, he's such an. I actually heard Chael Sonnen talking about you and saying, this Tom Aspinall, he needs to just come out and just start being fucking horrible to people. But it's obviously
That's not you though.
Nah.
You can do it, but I don't know. It's just not.
If it's not authentic, I don't think it.
I don't know. Everyone's got a bad side to them, don't they? I definitely do.
But you don't want to live your life like fucking Colby Covington or something
I won't
like that.
want to live well, in London, when Leon fought, I was in the back with Colby, and he was a really nice fella.
Of course.
And he was dead normal and everything. And then he had a pink blazer. I think he had white pants on and a pink blazer. And he was sat there all normal. He just had a shirt and pants on. We were chatting and everything for quite a while. And then they came in and said, right, we'll take you guys to your seats. So I was like, yeah, cool. And he put on the pink blazer, put on the sunglasses, and he just completely changed. Yeah.
Into mode.
Yeah.
Into character.
And he just started walking different and
I
like.
had the same experience with Henry Cejudo, talking to him, having like a nice experience, saying somebody asked him for a picture. Done this really stupid.
It's the gimmick, innit?
Yeah, it's weird.
But then it makes sense, innit?
It does, yeah, definitely.
If nobody's actually interested in watching you as a fighter, it's an entertaining sport.
But I think you've got the fan base regardless. Like, I think people are always going to find.
I don't know. I'm always.
Underselling yourself, I think.
I don't know.
Because I think even Scottish MMA fans like you.
Well, that's saying something, isn't it?
Aye, there's no.
Scots don't even like the
Yeah,
Scots.
I was going to say.
So
don't like
it's not as if it's only like you're like got a localized area as a fan base. Like, I would say you're pretty popular
I think
with everybody.
generally fans have been very positive to me. Generally,
European ones love you.
For sure.
I mean, I've had a few dicks, but
course
mostly positive.
Aye.
Definitely mostly positive. I'm very lucky in that regard, I think.
Have you got a favourite fight?
Of mine?
Yep.
What
What was it like fighting Arlovsky? I know it was in the Apex and stuff, but that's like a legend, basically.
He's an absolute knob.
Yeah. What is he?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
How taste my pee-pee?
Yeah, he's a knob.
So I was good fucking
I
smashing him.
was like buzzing to fight Arlovsky because like one of the reasons, mate, that I actually started MMA is because of Arlovsky, because I went watching the UFC Manchester when I was like 14 years old. I didn't actually go watching the event. I just went to the weigh-ins.
Right.
Like my dad got tickets to the weigh-ins and I went. And he turned up, mate. Arlovsky had that long hair and the fangs in.
Yeah.
And he was fucking massive. He had some white joggers on and he was like, the crowd just went mad, you know, and he put his arm up and stuck his tongue out. And I was like, yeah, this is good. Like, I want to do this, what he's doing. So then, years later, I ended up fighting him. Turned up to Vegas, and he was a knob. But I thought, well, we're going to fight, so maybe it's just... That's the way he is. Some people are just like that before the fight. And then after the fight, it was even worse.
Yeah.
It was just awful.
Fuck him, man.
I thought we were going to have a lovely, like, passing of the torch moment. I was going to tell him, like, listen, one of the reasons that I started this sport is because he's such a legend and all that. I had my little speech ready for him. And then I went to shake his hand and he didn't want to shake my hand. I was like,
after?
Yeah, he didn't want to shake my hand after. Nothing. He was just being very... We shook hands in the octagon, but then after, I asked him, does he want a drink? And he, like, we was at the... did you ever go to the Radisson? At the...
No, it was that wee weird building where you had the kitchen diner.
Oh no, I think is that not the Radisson?
Is that the Radisson?
I don't know.
Dean Martin Drive?
Dean Martin Drive.
Yeah, you have like a little apartment kind of thing. Yeah.
That's
what it was.
COVID.
Yeah. And he was like sat in the outside area, and I was going to the little shitty bar that they have. I walked past him, and he was just on his own. I went, "Oh, do you want a drink, mate?" And he was just like, "No."
Oh, you cocksucker.
Okay. I'll just get my own.
You weren't humbled again, big man? That's fucking
It makes it sweet that you fucking smashed him anyway.
But to answer the question, I think my favourite fight is probably either Volkov was good, but I think as far as performances, I think my Spivak performance was the best.
Nice.
Because he literally didn't hit me at all.
Was that the sharp 1-2?
No, I got him with the knee elbow.
The knee,
I think I really rate Spivak. I think he's really good. I think he's going to have I think he's got a really good chance of beating Gant, to be honest. I think he's a really, really good opponent, and he didn't touch me, so they're the best ones for me.
Aye. Not a lot of people's touched you though, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't really like being touched. I don't really like getting punched that much. I don't really like it.
I remember the first time I sparred with you, it was boxing, and you just pinged my head all over yourself. Dink, dink,
Apologies
dink.
for that. Apologies.
Like,
I like spar
No,
quite
do
nice though. I'm not a heavy sparrer.
No,
I don't
you
spar.
weren't. You were just moving. Bum, 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 bum. It wasn't that you were putting any power in it. You were just.
I don't.
Touching
I
me
think my
more than I was
heavy
touching you.
sparring days are behind me. To be honest.
You've done it.
No.
You've done it too
Yeah.
long. It's now about fine
You know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think I've took enough impact in the gym for now. Like I
So-
do spar once a week, but it's quite light.
And as you were saying, you've built an actual team round about you, so it's all guys you trust.
Yep.
There's nobody trying to ego check you and be like, I'm the guy. I'm trying to overthrow you. Everybody's there for you.
Yep.
You get better.
Yep.
And be the world champion.
Well, this worked. This kind of concept is because for a couple of years now, I've been going over sparring Rico Verhoeven in Holland. And that's the way he works it. He just has like a small, tight-knit team, and it's just all about him kind of thing. And that sounds quite narcissistic and selfish, but also, I'm trying to be the fucking best in the world.
Yeah.
And he's the best kickboxer ever to do it. And I want to be like
You
him.
don't think it's badder? No, I'm joking.
No,
I'm
I think it's bad.
I'm a massive Rico fan as well.
Rico's
so,
awesome.
aye, mate, he's
Rico's
cool as fuck.
such an athlete as well. He's unbelievable.
So during the lockdown, remember we were meant to fight on the original London card just
Yep.
before lockdown. So they moved all the fighters to you fought in the Cage Warriors.
Yeah. No, I didn't actually
Did
fight.
you not
but
fight?
they asked me to.
They'd offered me you,
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
I was like, "That's bad. No, all right.
Yeah.
I'll pass."
I
that
do
one."
remember that. I do remember. Yeah,
they'd
because the
offered-
first one,
How could they offer you him?
Because they were just
At
looking to
heavy?
make a card. So they
stopped
took-
everyone's flights and shit. It was like right at the beginning.
Right.
So this was like,
Even though you're a like
aye,
he's a heavy.
so they
We
offered.
were the closest two weights
Aye,
on
they
the
were
card, I
like,
think.
listen, if you still want to fight and get a payday, you can fight Tom or you can fight Dan Clark.
Stuart,
Dan
Stuart.
Dan Stewart.
Yeah, yeah.
So they went, you can go up or you can come down. And I was like, well, it does nothing for me fighting any two of them. I was like, Tom's like, what about 120?
Yeah, but
118?
yeah,
Aye.
yeah.
And I was like, I've already sparred him
that's
and he
great,
fucking zipped my head all over the place. So I've already done jiu-jitsu with him and he fucking tied me up knots. So I think I'll pass in that one.
No, but do you know what they said as well? Is like that was going to be my debut, that card,
I
and
know,
they
I
were
remember.
like, it's not going to be a UFC fight. It's going to be a Cage Warriors fight, and I was just like. I want to fight in the UFC. I don't want to fight on Cage Warriors. But it was a funny old time, wasn't it? The pandemic. It was a lot of shit. I hated that.
It was a Cage Warriors fight. We checked the kick and the boy broke
Yes,
his leg.
that's
Eh?
right.
That was just
That
before
was-
you signed for that. Was that after that you signed for the
No,
UFC?
I had one more and then signed for the UFC. Yeah.
I bumped in you at Cage Wars Manchester there, at my fight in the toilets.
Yeah. That was a great fight,
Aye,
though.
yeah.
I'm surprised.
Were you drunk there?
Yeah,
Were you drunk?
I was. That was on my birthday, actually. That was on my 30th, so I was out
That's a
there.
nice wee venue then.
Yeah, it's
isn't it,
very
man?
nice. I've been there a good few times. I fought there.
Aye.
But that fight, that naughty elbow at the end of the first.
Yeah, I know.
I'm surprised you come back from that. That was
It
brutal.
was flush, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
it
brutal.
was-
Was that after the bell?
It was after the bell. It was nice. It was a nice elbow to be fair, but it was definitely after the bell. But aye, Cage Wars are putting on good shows. Well, you've obviously fought there in the past.
Yep.
I think they're come back to Newcastle in November now. So, what about? Well, me and Paul and Ross were talking before we came here. Like quick fire questions.
Okay.
Do you want math? I had three.
Aye, fire on.
Do you want them?
They're not for me, they're for Tom.
Obviously, I know for you.
Do you want quick fire answers, or am I good just banging it out?
Just smooth it out,
Right,
man.
go on
Whatever
then,
comes
go
to your head first.
I don't know if I can say these.
Well, if they're not, we'll cut them.
Tea or coffee?
It's not.
It goes listen, it goes
It
dark.
starts like that.
Go on then.
It goes dark. Tea or coffee?
Coffee. I'll go coffee.
You go coffee,
Yeah,
right?
I'll go
Good. That
coffee.
was a very quick.
Yeah.
I can't even say them.
Go on. I like
In the
interesting
pink
questions.
and in the stink.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's still not that bad.
That's not bad, is it?
No, they get worse than
Man's got a
this.
wife.
Yeah, I do have a wife. So.
Did you not say another worse one? No.
Well, you can say that one.
No.
Go on, tell me the worst. I want the worst one first.
Come on, man.
No,
Well,
because I'm
podcast-
saving mine. I've got one
Oh,
for
you
the
got a
end.
quick fire?
I've got a real question that I'm going to hit him with, and I want it to be the last one.
Right, okay.
A real one. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one.
In the pink and in the stink.
In the pink.
Yes.
Traditional.
We also went tits and ass.
That's the ultimate dilemma, isn't it? For me.
Yeah.
For me, it is at least.
Listen, you're a big guy. Take two.
Some people look. See, what I've found is it's very hard to get that combo right, isn't it? You either have one or the other a lot of the time. That combo is hard to come by, innit, if you got both. Not many girls
I'm
have
ass.
both.
I'm ass all day.
See,
I think I
Bad
am
ass
generally.
belly gun.
see, I do the school run. In the
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Where are we going
it's
here?
going to get that. No. So I do the
Tom,
school
we're
run.
sorry.
And see the local. I'd refer to them as local mothers. They're they're built tits and ass. They're built well. They're built well.
Like a rough diamond.
Aye, there. They just need a wee bit of polishing. They've got the ass. They get the titties.
They're on that Just Eat
I'm
diet.
asking the exact same question. Then it pink around the stunk.
Right.
That's
I'm gonna say quite a rare thing. I think women look better after they've had a kid, and I don't like dead tight bodies, like really
Natural.
toned and that. I like a bit.
I don't like makeup.
Yeah, I don't.
Makeup, I fucking
like
hate it. I hate it, man.
I like a woman who's like trained a bit, but they've also been eating KFC for a few weeks. You know what I mean? That's my.
That's
Like,
a great answer, to be fair.
yeah. So to answer the question, I think I'd lean more towards ass, but I like tits as well. I like both. Both are great.
I'm glad to hear that.
What was the?
So I can't mind what you said. That's the problem. But I remember it being worse than pink or the stink.
What was your question, Ross?
Right, mine's a serious one. We see you beating Martian Taibura. Are we going to see you calling somebody out at the end?
Yes.
Of it? Do you want to say here or do you want to save it for
Yeah,
then?
because I want to go to Paris and cause up a right scene.
So I felt like you were kind of leaning on him there. That's why I pushed it.
That's my plan.
So obviously you're not looking through Taibura,
No,
but
absolutely
you've
not.
got to look to the future as well.
Well, the ultimate scenario for me is give Tabora a right beating,
Love it.
and then
Force
go
the
to
UFC
Paris,
hand.
work the BT Sport desk, and then jump in the octagon at the end.
Oh.
And force that fight up on the UFC. That's the plan.
I think they'll want it.
I think they want it as well.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't think he'll want it.
So
He'll have no choice.
Yeah.
Well, if he wins, I think he's got a very tough fight, to be honest. But I'll fight Spivak again.
What do
as
you
well.
think Gans like stand up? Obviously he's light
I think
on,
he's really good.
light on the feet.
No, I think he's really
Similar
good.
to you in
I
ways,
think he's
movement wise.
I think he's really good in general.
Yeah.
I think he's a good fighter, definitely.
So his grappling showed up obviously against one of the best ever.
He's looked good before then, though, in my opinion.
do you think he
so-
just had an off night with
I
Jones?
think so.
Got
I
a bit
think
much
so.
for him, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
What about Big Francis? I mean, he kind of controlled him with one knee as well, but didn't he?
He's a big, strong boy, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
I wouldn't fancy him on top of me either.
So obviously Francis is in PFL now, but was there any time that you're like, I maybe draw this card here?
I'd like to fight him as well, but he's gone now, hasn't he? So
Yeah.
that's pointless.
I always think he'll come back.
You think?
I don't,
No,
aye.
I don't
I think he's proper burnt his bridges there.
I
hasn't
You
he?
think so?
Yeah, I reckon.
There's no way they would.
I can't see it.
Maybe unless it's for Jones, maybe like Dana would maybe push it, but
I always say this: like, is Francis Ngannou famous, or do we just know who he is because we love MMA? Like,
I know. I think.
Do you get what I mean by that?
think
It's
he
like-
thinks he's more famous than he
aye.
is.
Well, he's commanded a big plus with PFL and some extra rights.
Oh, well, he's done great.
And
for
he's done-
himself.
he's done-
Fair
he's
play.
still a scary dude. Let's be honest.
I don't
He's
fancy
highlight
getting
reel.
punched by him at all.
Aye.
But
He's
I
highlight
do
reel.
it for money.
Of course.
I do it for money.
for
I
money.
do most things for money.
I like the Gan fight. I like that.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Aye.
In Paris, Dave, would you like that?
I'd
in Paris?
take it anywhere. I fancy a China. I know they've got China coming up. I won't mind that.
So that was my next question. Like a dream destination to
I'd
fight
like
in.
to fight in China.
China.
I don't know if
A lot of people say Japan as well.
I don't know. I've never been to any of them kind of countries, so
Yeah.
I'd like to see that as well. I did like fighting Abu Dhabi though.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool. I'd do that again.
We were there,
They
right?
get treated well. They don't.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'd love to do that again with a crowd this time. I did it twice without, so do it with the crowd.
Does London suit you?
London,
Because you've not got far to travel, and like a lot of things are kind of the
suits me,
same.
but I also
We'll drop you off in this. We'll just jump up, man. I mean,
It's
there's a big
very
bed
cool
back
thing.
here, man.
You know,
Off it,
I'm
we'll off it,
also
eh?
like conscious of the fact that I'm becoming the London guy, and I don't just want to be the London guy. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to. I want to travel a little bit as well. I do want to travel, but it is very convenient for me.
It's like when a London card comes round, phone Tom
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
phone Paul.
But I'm happy with it. I really like fighting in London. It works really well for me.
Right, I think that's us coming. to
That's
the end.
us. That's us. I've got another
Aye, well, no
Shit,
shitloads
you've
of
got-
media to
I
do.
know. Sorry, we've taken
That's
too
all right.
much of your
Don't worry
time.
about it. Don't worry
But,
about it.
We really appreciate
Thanks
the
for coming.
time, man, and we'll see you in London and best of skill.
I'll see you there.
Legend,
Thank you.
Tom.
All the
Thank
best,
you very
mate.
much.
Thanks very much.